Hey everyone. All right, we've got the initial setup completed. We're connected to Firebase. We have a Firestore database ready. We have the empty pages using a couple of templates set in place and connected to each other. And now we're ready to start working on the actual membership sections. To start with, we're going to actually go ahead and add a little bit onto this home page just for what we're going to show our user when they log in, and we're going to add a logout button as well. So to get started here, we're going to add some, let's add a, what do we want to add? We want to add into this column, we'll use a template that is a header 2. All right, and this just pulls this in. We're not using avatars, and we'll leave this here. And this, we want this to show the user's name. So we're going to click on that, come over here and do set from variable. We will use the authenticated user's display name. As we have not set that up yet, we should. So we're going to actually back up and we're going to go to the register page. And we're going to add another field to this form. So we're going to duplicate this field for ease. We'll just right click and click duplicate. Undo. First, come over here. We're going to duplicate the row, not just the field, so it's on its own row. This row will be, we'll rename it to display name, and this field, I will update it to say display name. Enter your display name here. And then on the create account button, we'll go to actions and we will set additional fields down here. We'll drop that down and change the display name field, which is default as part of Firebase. And then change the source to from variable. Change this to widget state. Why is it not there? I did not rename the field yet. I renamed the row. So this field needs to be named something that you can recognize, like display name. Now we can do the create account and set this display name to widget state display name. Now when they create an account, it will pass this display name into Firebase so we can use it in other places in the app. Moving back to the home page, this field, since we set it to the authenticated user display name, will show that name that they created. You can also set a default value if you don't make it required to say something like friend. Right. I will actually want to move this display name up next to the hello. So I'm actually going to drag this into the same row, and then we'll go ahead and remove that other row. In the row settings, instead of the space between alignment, I'm going to do left aligned, and now they are readable as one line. And I will rename the page title header to just say home. That's good enough for the home page, but we'll just go ahead and do one more thing, which is to add a logout button at the bottom. So I'm going to add a button into this column. that says log out. Go to Actions, Add Action. We'll scroll down and do Firebase Authentication, Logout. We'll actually go ahead after we log them out and take them back to the entry page. And so we'll hit Open on the Actions, and we will add another action. It says Navigate to Entry. So now they'll log out, and they'll be taken back to the entry page. And we will go ahead and replace the navigation. We'll turn the back navigation off so they can't hit back and go back into the app. That's good enough for there. And so now we have a home page when they come in and the ability to log back out. Let's give that a test. I'm going to hit Run. And we're going to wait on this to build. Okay, so it built. I'm going to scroll down so we can see it clear. We have the entry page. We have the login page, email and password. We have a register button that takes us over to the register page with a display name, email and password. And we're going to go ahead and register a user. I'll do my admin user. The reason we're going to go ahead and do this first is because this is what actually sets up the user collection in Firebase, so we don't have to do it ourselves. So I'm going to make my display name, and I'm going to set up a email address and a password. Create account. So this wasn't a problem I went through the first time as well. It said the email address is badly formatted. This is particular to this template. What happens is, I will close this, and we'll come back here, and on the register page, this template, when you add something, has a create account. You will see that now underneath here, the email field is display name, and the password field is password. This email field needs to be email address. Because we cloned this, it didn't keep the right field. So just have to be careful when you do that. So I'm going to rebuild, and we'll try again. Okay, after rebuilding, we're going to go ahead and hit register. And now we'll put in our display name, email address, password, hit create account. So it says configuration not found. This just means that authentication is not actually enabled in Firebase yet. So we're going to switch over to Firebase, and under build we're going to go to authentication, hit get started, turn on email, enable, and save. That is now enabled, so we should be able to come back to our app that is still running, hit create account, and it will finish and log us in. At this point, you can look back in Firebase in your database. You have a new users, and you have the information for the user that you added in your database. So now we have the ability to log in and log out and create users. So we'll log out. It takes us back to the home page. We can create another user or just log back in as that user. So now I can log in as this user, and it takes us to the home page. From here, we are ready to go ahead and work on adding the additional information that sets a status for the user and whether or not the user is an admin user. I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and we will pick up on that in the next video.